What the Dickens is this? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Just a quick message really, because I feel that I think I've cracked this woke problem. You know, the woke problem is, in case you don't know, woke is all about people like millenniums who are triggered by anything that they don't like, you know, burst into tears, you know, if the plug doesn't switch on, the usual stuff, you know. And then of course they're offended by statues, books, films, records, you name it. What I find incredible as well when you think about it is you look at things like the Spotify thing with, of course, Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, and I think the other ones, I can't remember the other one now, who was wanting to take his music off. But again, he doesn't actually own his music anymore. He sold his back catalogue. That was it. Crosby, Stills and Nash, a band that we all liked until suddenly became all woke. But as ever, this particular story caught my eye, and it did sort of make me laugh, because now apparently we can be offended by one of our most celebrated writers in the world, a man who's given so much joy to millions of people over so many decades. It is, of course, the one and only Charles Dickens. If you've never been to Charles Dickens's museum in London, definitely worth a visit, just to go into the house where he created so many of these works. Incredible when you think. But now, if you're woke, apparently you're going to be traumatized after reading one of the all-time classics, Oliver Twist. Now, Oliver Twist, of course, has been turned into a cartoon, and I believe 3 film versions already. One, of course, starring the brilliant Anthony Newley and Dinah Dawes way back in the late 1940s, and of course the most spectacular one, the Lionel Bart version, musical version of Oliver, which starred, of course, wonderful people like Jack Wilde, Mark Lester and the brilliant Ron Moody. Now, apparently, yes, you could be really offended if you pick up the book, because there are certain scenes, certain characters that simply could make you shudder. And so now what they're basically trying to do with this particular project is put an insert into the books, particularly out in the libraries, to warn you that certain scenes might make you feel anxious, worried and traumatized. Could you make this stuff up? But what I find incredible is this. I often look at these stories now and think, yes, but if you didn't mention that, and let's not forget that a new publisher has undertaken releasing some of Charles Dickens's work, it reminds people they're out there, and of course they're out there to exist because obviously people still buy them to this day. But if you're that publisher, it also reminds you that maybe you'll pick it up again, maybe you've lost a copy and you want to reread it. So is woke really woke as it is, or is it some sort of PR spin by the people that think if we offend somebody for 5 minutes, we remind them, of course, of some of the great works of one of the most brilliant writers ever to put pen to paper? I'd love to know what you think to this particular story. Truly I would, because knowing Oliver Twist and Charles Dickens, you're never offended. It's just great storytelling. If you look at A Christmas Carol, it's a little bit dark, but the messages are really strong and clear, and above all, certainly make you think to become, hopefully, a better person. I wonder what Charles Dickens would think to this. Probably turn it into another novel. As ever, let me know what you think in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.